you can start to do a million what ifs. If Danny finishes that one right after they score, does the game maybe settle down a little bit? Instead, Messi scores from 35 yards out on a shot, and we get punished. So again, the margins are very tight in the biggest games in the semifinal like this, and we weren't good enough, and like I said, we got a little bit humbled.
Jim, Messi's only involved directly in one of the four goals. How well do you think you guys did against him? And is it tough to give up some of those goals that you did when he doesn't have a role?
Yeah, I mean, look, it takes a complete team effort now, and it takes 11 guys at their maximum to have a chance against a team like Miami. And if you go back and look at the first 20, 30 minutes, we made too many mistakes, and they really punished us. I think we were in position to clear balls. I think we had numbers even around Messi, and almost dropped off of him when we had almost five guys around him in that moment where he scores. So yeah, you have second thoughts, and you second guess yourself. Again, maybe emotion, whatever, too much respect, whatever it might be. But yeah, it wasn't us for the first half, and you have to give credit to the opponent too, because they punished us. They are very good. There's no question about that. So I don't want to take anything away from them. But like I said, usually we make teams really grind and wear us down and earn goals. And if it's a 10 pass sequence with a tap in, and you kind of tip your cap and you go, wow, okay, they broke us down. But the goals that we gave up were uncharacteristic of ourselves, and that's what I think hurts the most. You can see it in the third minute now, and it takes the air out of the stadium. It really hurts. And we lose a little bit of life there. So that part was difficult.
There's two quick ones. First off, I'm curious, if you have any concern about bouncing back from this. Obviously, it's been a while since there was a game with this much hype surrounding it in this area. The other thing is, you said the build-up, you sort of encourage people, and maybe not even half jokingly, not to sell their tickets. I'm curious what you made of the atmosphere out there, the reception and whatnot.
Yeah, the first part. Look, it's hard to lose and concede 4 goals. We really, I don't know when the last time we have conceded 4 goals in this building. I mean, it's been a really, really long time, I think. So that part hurts. So yeah, it doesn't feel normal, walking off that field having conceded 4 times. It almost never happens here. So that part's difficult for sure. In terms of the stadium, look, I thought the crowd was amazing. I thought it was a great atmosphere. Of course, I think if you're even a Union fan, you should respect and love how Messi plays the game and how he is as a human being and as a teammate. So that part I'm totally okay with. Was there a lot of pink? For sure, and I think that's going to be the case anywhere he goes, because again, look, I grew up in Philadelphia. I'm a 76ers fan, but I also love Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? So there is a little element of that. He's global. He is literally the best to ever play our sport, and the way he does it too is humble, man. You can tell. I'm not saying I know him, but I can tell how people act on the field and how they are when they're the best player, and they still are pretty down to earth and want to win and to produce like he does all the time, over and over, when he really doesn't have to produce anymore if he didn't want to, because of what he's accomplished. So he's a winner. Again, he'll go to a final now, which we wish them the best of luck, but it hurts that we weren't the ones going. But yeah, certainly coming off the bridge today when I saw the lines of like real or fake Messi jerseys being sold, that did catch me off guard for sure, no question.
Jim, as you look ahead to the third place game, can we expect some added rotation? Obviously, we're still down some bodies, and would love an update on Carranza, as he obviously did not feature today.
Yeah, look, again, I can't believe I have to explain this, but if Julian was able to play tonight, he would have been on the field, guys. I had some people screaming at me to put him in the game. It's like he's our best striker and he's our leading goal scorer. I would have put him in if he could have. He was there, just to be clear, he was there if some crazy situation happened where guys started dropping at the end of the game and we needed someone to literally take a penalty kick. That was the only reason he was even in a uniform. So he would tell you he maybe could have done more, but that the reality is we wanted to be safe. I trust our medical staff, and he had a grade 1 hamstring a couple days ago, and to put our top goal scorer out there didn't make a lot of sense. So we dressed him in case of in case of the need for a penalty. Yeah, look, it's tricky, and Pablo brought it up. To now play in a third place game, it's deflating, right? So, but we have to find a way because there is still a Champions League spot on the line, which is big. I know our players still want to win and finish the competition the right way. It hurts, man. And again, we want to win more than anything. I know our fans know that and understand it, but we're 47 teams are entered this competition. We're into the final four, and we want to finish, at best we can right now, which is third place.
Jim, a lot of games, a lot of minutes for key players
Yeah.
in a quick turnaround. How much is fatigue a factor these last couple of games?
Yeah, look, we changed in three positions that we're pretty comfortable changing in, where we can keep guys fresh. Again, I've talked about it before. A lot of data and analytics and analysis that we've done shows that in our league, if you rotate four or more, it kind of falls off a cliff in terms of getting results. So rotation is good and it's necessary in a busy competition like this. I think we've tried our best to make some changes here and there and keep guys fresh. But fatigue's played a role, no question about it. You see the gift and the curse of this competition and advancing is you do see injuries. You see a lot of teams that are in the final four now picking up little knocks here and there, but you're playing for a trophy, and that's what you want to do. So it is a balancing act for sure. We'll put a group on the field. A lot will depend on the Nashville Monterrey game, right? Monterrey is already qualified for Champions League. So if they do lose and now we play them here, there's basically zero on the line for them. So that makes a really awkward, unique situation. If obviously, if Monterrey wins, they go on to a final, and Nashville will be fighting just like we will for third. So it is a unique situation and scenario that's going to come, but we want to win the last game. That's kind of how our guys are wired.
Obviously, any loss is going to hurt. It's going
Yeah.
to be painful. But particularly the way that you guys lost,
Yeah.
conceding more goals. Again,
Yeah.
many games as a team that prides itself defensively, and the competitiveness of your group probably wanting to be the first team that knocked off
Sure.
Miami, a messy team that's had the spotlight from everyone. Like, how frustrating is this time of way to do that?
It's tough. It's really tough, and that's the last thing I said to them when they left out for the field. Let's be the first team to do it. That's a motivator for guys. But then you look at the opponent, and they're pretty damn good as well. So it was a humbling game. They were really good on the ball. They're sharp. But I will say, I know I'm going to sound stupid, but at 3-1, we still had 3 or 4 chances even before Ali scores that we could have at least put some pressure on them and made them feel it a little bit. We missed a lot of I'll just say good chances, point blank chances, and on a different day, we can finish those off and things change. So that hurts. That's how it is. You have to move on. We'll look at the tape. We'll try to get better, and again, regroup and play in this third place game.
Our last two right there, and then Charles.
Following up on those chances in the second half, it looked like between Donovan's misses, and there was just several times where there was just crosses and just nobody there. Was that a miscue, or was the game just kind of out of hand by that?
No, look, at that point, it's still a game. There still was a lot of time left, too, in those instances. I go to Daniel's chance in the first half is a really good one where he's one-on-one with Callender, and Callender makes a big save. The save he makes on Donovan's header where he dives down low. Mikel has one where it's slotted across, like you mentioned, where if he slides, maybe he gets a tap in. Jacob has the one at the back post where I've seen him score that a million times in training. It just goes off, just misses it, and it goes wide, and Chris has the empty netter that you'd like him to hit the target. So those are big chances, and in a semifinal, you need those things to go your way. Obviously, when a team, I'm not naive, guys, when a team's up 3-0, they're going to sit a little deeper, and we're going to have a little more of the ball in possession. So at that point, the 4-4-2 looked really good because they're just sitting deep. But again, we didn't do enough tonight. We didn't get it done, and I think collectively as a team, coaches, players, I'm just disappointed with how we started the game, and that first goal was the one that was preventable and deflating.
All right, that's Union head coach Jim Kearney after the 4-1 loss here to Inter Miami tonight. All right, Shannon, let's get right. We'll break this game all down for you for the full match highlights, and we're going to go in succession, beginning back to the 3rd minute. Joseph Martinez, the recipient of a beautiful ball by Christoph out of the back that beat Andre Blake early in the game. Christoph trying to play over the top, gets a pass, Damian Martinez is on with the shot and scores! And the opening 3 minutes on a ball by Christoph forward to Joseph Martinez, beating Andre Blake to his right on a one-time strike by Martinez. His third goal in Leagues Cup, and the start everybody didn't want to see. It's nightmarish. It's 1-0 Inter Miami in the opening 4 minutes.
Union with a tough opening 3 minutes as they gave up an early goal, and like Jim talked about, it really deflated the stadium as some people hadn't even gotten down to their seats. Don't have pressure on the ball from a center back. Our other center back gets played over, and I think he doesn't handle it well. I think that Damian could have cleared that ball. Elliott not reading the play as well, and they get their first goal off of just a mistake by the Union.
Yeah, I think it was a tough night. I'm saying that kindly to Damian Lowe, Jack Elliott, and Jacob Glesnes tonight. That one again over the boot of Damian Lowe, and Martinez was onside. It scored past Andre Blake. 3rd-minute goal. Gazdag 5 minutes later fired a shot, which Jim referenced, as you just heard in his post-game comments, right at goal. Callender makes the save to his left. Might have been a different game. I know it's hindsight, folks, but that could have changed things. Gazdag doesn't deliver again. He was coming off of injury, did not play against Querétaro in the quarterfinal. He does not get the goal there. And then it really changed at the 20th minute from distance. Who else? Lionel Messi scores here in Chester at Subaru Park amid Andre Blake from distance. Messi with a shot from distance, Lowe, and scores! In the 20th minute, from 35 yards away, Lionel Messi scores for a 6th consecutive game on the deck. And that was a BB to the left of Andre Blake. And it's 2-0 Inter Miami, thanks to the goal by Lionel Messi, his 9th in Leagues Cup.
And again, Christoph coming forward with the ball, playing straight into the forward. The Union back line get a little mixed up on who's stepping to the ball. It ends up being nobody. Martinez ends up slipping Messi. They don't have any pressure on the ball. Andre's backpedaling, and I just don't think that he got the jump on the ball that he wanted to. It takes 2 hops off the turf from 35 yards out. And again, we've seen Andre Blake make incredible saves from point blank. So definitely one that I don't think that he was set and ready for, and it beats him low to his left.
Andre Blake, again, allowing that second goal to Lionel Messi, scoring here in Chester back in the 20th minute. Again, another goal, as Shane had accurately stated, from Christoph. And I will tell you, folks, Lionel Messi was probably not involved in 3 of the 4 goals. He did play a ball forward to Yedlin, so I guess I'll take that back and say 2 of the 4. He has a goal and assist in this game, but not directly into the play of the other 2 goals tonight from Lionel Messi, who still played very well, got his goal and assist, and was a treat to see amid the Union fans here against Lionel Messi. I heard from Jim Kern, there were a ton of pink jerseys out here. I would say it definitely was a pro-Union crowd. I'd give it 80-20. Obviously, the game carried on, and the Union were down severely at one point, down by 3. You heard more of the Messi folks. But here's the backbreaker. After Gazdag in the 30th minute tried to score against Gazdag, but went wide for the second time. Again, 2 misses from Gazdag, 1 on frame and 1 that missed. The backbreaker occurred in the final kick. This probably was the game. In first half stoppage time, Taylor plays a ball into space to the upper right of Andre Blake on the left-hand side. Elliott, Harriel, Glesnes all caught out of position. Taylor saw the space and found Jordi Alba, who scores his first Inter Miami goal. Taylor in possession for about 10 yards forward. He dances forward, and they have a runner and onside, and Alba on a breakaway here inside the 18, trying to get their 3rd goal. Alba scores to the back post. That was disastrous. Jordi Alba gets the 3rd goal for Inter Miami at first half stoppage time.
And again, just a simple ball forward into Robert Taylor, who just has acres of space. You saw him take 6-7 touches with nobody around him. And that's not to say that the Union players weren't there. They just weren't stepping to the ball. Jordi Alba, with all his experience, makes a great run. Damian Lowe keeps him on side here on this left-hand side. So a little bit of just a poor first half for Damian Lowe, really. And Jordi Alba makes no mistakes and has a good finish at the end of it.
Yep, so the Union allowing a crooked number for the first time in the Leagues Cup, this being their 6th Leagues Cup game. So they go into the locker room down, as I mentioned, uncharacteristically on the air, 3-0. This place has been a fortress. You have to go all the way back years, and I'm talking years, at Subaru Park since this team has allowed 4 goals. They did lose 4-0 last year at Charlotte before the playoff run, but again, that was on the road, not here at Chester, where they have been winning pretty easily, I might add, here at home. Okay, so we go to the second half. So the team is down 3-0, and Shane and I just wanted to see that quick goal. Can they get that first goal early on the first 15 minutes of the second half? Well, they had some opportunities, and actually they had a lot of them. We begin in the 56th minute. The team is down 3-0. Chris Donovan with a chance to chip the goalkeeper and had an open goal, but missed. Donovan
goalkeeper
with an open goal and puts it above the bar and wide from Chris Donovan. Should have been a goal for Chris Donovan and a play out for the back in the 55th minute. And Donovan dumps it above the bar and wide. And he would want that one back tonight with the club down by 3 on a beautiful ball from Kai Wagner. Curled forward to Donovan, but he misses.
We asked for a reaction at halftime, and I thought the Union came out in that second half aggressive, on the front foot, looking to get back into the game. And that was just the first chance of many for the Union. Chris Donovan gets a ball from the left-hand side from Kai, who plays him in behind. He rounds the goalkeeper and has an open goal and decides to go with his laces and just doesn't catch it right and hits none of the goal.
Yeah, so that should have been one right there. Just track that down, everybody. So that's 3-0 still Inter Miami. By the way, the club went from a back 3 to a back 4, bringing in McGlynn and Ua with Lowe and Flock out at halftime. We'll talk about formation changed in just a little bit, but let's go to the 60th minute. 4 minutes later, again, the team is down 3-0. Kai Wagner's had some beautiful service throughout this Leagues Cup, played a cross in for Chris Donovan, and Drake Callender probably makes the biggest save of his night, makes one save, and then Daniel Gazda goes high on the rebound. Wagner from Martinez crosses it in, a lot of mustard on this, and the header saved by Callender on Donovan. Second ball, and it's high from Gazda off the rebound. Callender again with a Herculean stop to his right to deny Chris Donovan from his header.
And like you said, 4 minutes later, Donovan pops up again inside the Miami 6-yard box with a good header, keeps it down, puts it on frame, and just gets denied by a really good save from Callender. But again, just a clear-cut opportunity that goes begging, and that could have made the game 3-2 at that point.
So Shane and right, so 60 minutes in, the Union were down 3-0, but by my count, as far as prime opportunities, you got one there in the 60th, one there in the 56th off the Donovan one that went high, remember, a couple minutes ago, and then the first one in the 8th minute for Gazdag. Yep, that could have been 3 goals. I know it's easy to say, but there were huge opportunities wasted for the Union. The Union, however, welcome back to Alejandro Bedoya, back on the field for the first time since July 15th, nursing the quad injury. A corner from Kai Wagner led to the Union goal tonight, the lone tally, thanks to Bedoya getting back out there. See if they get one on frame here from this corner from Kai at the base of the Sons of Ben. Two-step approach, balls is like forward. There's a second ball, alive for Ua, and it's a goal for the Union. It's Alejandro Bedoya! Bedoya, the captain, it's his first goal in 2023. Welcome back, LA! In the 73rd minute, it's a 3-1 game, and there's new life for the Union. Off of the corner from Kai to the Union's Bedoya!
And right on cue as Bedoya comes in, happy to see him back, happy to see him getting minutes and involved with the team. Gets a lucky deflection and does a really good job to just put something on frame with the outside of his right boot. It takes maybe a little bit of deflection and goes over the left shoulder of Callender. So that I thought got the Union back in it. You started to see this crowd come back alive, and there was still some time left to try to get another goal and add pressure to this Inter Miami squad.
Yep, that was in the 73rd minute. So off of the corner from Kai, it went through the legs of Yedlin. First, a misplay out of the back. It was headed out by one of the players on the back line. Then off of Busquets, Bedoya had it and then went through the legs of Yedlin and past the goalkeeper Callender to make it a 3-1 game. But the dagger occurred in the 84th minute. About 11 minutes later, I mentioned 2 of the 4 chances for goals for Inter Miami, 2 of the 4 involving Lionel Messi. He has a goal. Here's his assist, playing forward to Yedlin, who spots David Ruiz with his second career Inter Miami goal. Busquets plays forward, ups for his right, not a square ball from him, ups to play to Messi, and coming up high is Yedlin in a 4v3 for Miami. Plays for to Ruiz, out comes Andre Blake, spills to the back post, and they score with David Ruiz. There's the 4th goal, and could be the dagger tonight for Inter Miami in the 84th minute. David Ruiz scores, it's his first goal in the Leagues Cup, and Inter Miami has the 3-goal advantage yet again.
And all second half, Inter Miami was looking to play off the counter and try to add to that goal tally. And I thought it was a poor decision by Kai to step up, lets Yedlin in, and then Yedlin does a good job to slide in Ruiz, who that's the dagger right there. I think at that point, everybody knew that this was not going to be the comeback, and it wasn't in the cards. And again, the scoreline is not going to tell the story of the game, but they just got punished for every mistake that they made, and that's what you see from a team that's in form right now.
The big question that a lot of folks have is, will this team be a back three or a back four team moving forward? I know you didn't like the formation of the setup tonight with the 5-4-1, we'll call it. You mentioned the back three, and you could have the four guys out of the midfield and the one up top and Chris Donovan. And that's because, and Jim said it during the press conference, for those that didn't hear it, Julian Carranza was out nursing that hamstring injury. He was not fit to play. The only time that Carranza would have gotten onto the field is if we were headed to PKs just to get him on, like the Red Bulls did the other nights in the round of 16 with Lewis Morgan, who missed, and Andre Blake made a save on him. That was the only chance Carranza would have gone up against his former club tonight. That was not the case. So I'll pose the question to you. The back three, that back five, I'll tell you, was not very good tonight. Moving forward after the third place game, you're going to have 11 regular season games left before the playoffs. Shannon, this is a back three team or better in the 4-4-2 diamond in your eyes?
It's tough because I think they've looked really good in the back three at times, but lately I think they've struggled with it. I think that Andre and Damian going away for the international break really hurt the team's cohesion and the way that they were playing in that back three. They've tried to kind of get it back in this Leagues Cup. They've been really good in it in some games. They've looked poor like they did tonight. For me, I think they have to get back to basics and back to what got them to MLS Cup last year, and that's that 4-4-2 diamond. I think that the team is more comfortable in that. I think that they are built for it. We obviously have to see who's going to be available as the strikers. We would love to have Carranza back as soon as possible, and we'll definitely be looking for updates as we move on, not only to the third place game, but also to end up the last stretch of games here in this MLS season.
Yep, and I know a lot of folks are wanting Ty Barabo to play. He's the Israeli international coming from Wolfsberger, the Austrian Bundesliga. He is not available because his paperwork, his P1 visa still hasn't been received, so they're waiting for that to be processed. I think he has to go back out of the country, I was told, then come back in. Either way, he was not available. He's the new acquisition for the Union up top as a striker, and hopefully we will call his name in some goals to come, but he was not available for selection tonight. As far as big games go, and you played a lot of them in the Union uniform, and the theme here is kind of wasted opportunities. So by my count, you have 3 U.S. Open Cup finals, 2 taking place here in Chester in 14 and 15, right? And the one in Houston in 2018. You have 2 semifinal losses in the CONCACAF Champions League, and the club drops MLS Cup in dramatic fashion. The team was leading at the death, and then in penalties lose to the LAFC. Where does this one rank for you in Union history, and how do you see this game amid all those other games that have happened in Union lore?
For me, just because I was a part of it, I think that the Open Cup loss to Seattle is probably one of our toughest losses. We have Mo Adu here next to us in the next booth, who also played in that game, and that was a tough final to lose in our own building. This one definitely ranks up there with all the hype that was going into it, and obviously the Union wanting to spoil the Messi party. They just weren't able to get things right tonight, and it stings. We know what Philadelphia is about, and that's winning, and we know how badly this fan base wants to win trophies. I know that they've won the Supporter Shield, but Jim always talks about when there's a trophy on the line, we're going for it, and they went for this Leagues Cup, and I thought they had a good run. You don't know what seeding you're going to get for next year, and if you're going to have all home games like they did in this Leagues Cup run, and they would have hosted a final as well. So definitely a missed opportunity, and one that they'll be in the locker room and disappointed about right now.
So the Union drop again 4-1. You're listening to the post-game show. It's Dave Leno and Shannon Williams here with you. It did kick off in Nashville, by the way, in the other semifinal, Monterey against Nashville. So the one who falls in that game will come here to Chester in the third place game. Obviously, if it's Monterey who falls, as Jim said, they already qualified for CONCACAF Champions League. So the game in terms of what you're playing for, already a wash there in that one because they've already qualified for CCL. And Leagues Cup, they're giving out 3 CONCACAF Champions League berths to next year's competition. Messi will be there. Will it be Nashville as the other we'll have to see, as that one is just kicking off at Geodis Park. So just to put a wrap on this one, Shane, and now you turn to the third place game. I don't know if you played in third place competitions in your youth national team career or also in the higher ranks in professional soccer under your playing days, but how do you approach a third place game? What should the fans expect, and how should the fans come out and support this team going for that third place game on Saturday?
I think it's going to all be about who they end up playing. If it is against Nashville, you would hope that the fans come out in drones, as it is an important game in terms of Champions League. Every team that's in MLS wants to be in Champions League, and we're talking about Miami now, who's in last place and no shot at Champions League, being in Champions League because of them getting to the finals and already starting to build for next year. So the Union want to be in that competition. They want to be competing for trophies, and it's going to be a big game if it's against Nashville. And I hope that the fans come out. I know that it's going to be interesting as you don't see many third place games unless it's the World Cup, but